One will be followed by Phil Bradley and Ken Phelps. Red Sox had seen nobody but the Tigers, the White Sox, and Kansas City for a couple of weeks, and now they're going to see nobody but these Western clubs for a couple more. Good 3-2 pitch again, foul back. Play the Mariners, Oakland, and California here, and then go right out to the coast after that and play the same three teams again in an 8-game set. Clemens just kept pouring the coals on a 3-2 count and finally got Spike Owens.
Actually, you make a little better hitter out of Spike Owens once you get the counts to 3-2, and he did foul off some pretty good pitches from Roger, but it looked like Roger may have said, well, let me get just a little extra, and he scooted that one right by Mr. Owens.
So there's one of them gone, and Phil Bradley, the left fielder, is up. Ball one to this fine-looking player, who right now is struggling with a 239 mark and has had 5 hits in his last 40 times up. 2-0. Bradley hit an even 300 last year and 301 the year before. His first 2 full years with Seattle. There's a strike.
Calgary team. They have activated right-handed pitcher Edwin Nunez for tonight's game.
2-1 pitch. 3-1.
Also, there is a change in Thursday's pitcher for the Mariners. Bill Swift will start instead of Matt Young.
Paul Mirabella, a pitcher, has been optioned, outrighted by the Mariners, and Edwin Nunez activated. 3-2 again, and the second 3-2 count. 3-ball, 2-strike count to Bradley. And strike 3. Well, a mess of pitches, but they all turned out right for Clemens so far. 2 straight strikeouts.
Not a bad sequence. Roger got behind quickly 2-0, then went to the breaking ball to get the strike, and then back to the fastball. Bradley went for a borderline pitch there with a count 3-2, and you're a fastball hitter. You've got to get it turned up one thing a little bit quicker than that. Last 2 of those fastballs just right by Bradley untouched.
Here is first baseman Ken Phelps, who's been up only 15 times with 3 hits. Alvin Davis has a jammed shoulder. The normal first baseman, he is out of the lineup and is on a day-to-day basis. So Phelps is playing in here. Has 2 home runs, though. He's a long ball type. Takes ball 1. Clemens pitching on a coolish night, but actually this is the best weather he's had so far. He has pitched on 3 cold games previously. It's a 2-0 count to Phelps. And that missing high. 3-0. So a bunch of pitches this first inning for Roger Clemens. Gorman Thomas is the designated hitter. He's on deck. Gets in there with a 3-1 count. Outfield shoveled around to right on Phelps, a pull hitter. Strike 2. Cuts that inside corner. Phelps trying to wait the walk. Jackknifed a little bit from that, but that caught the inside corner very nicely. And now for the 3rd straight batter, a 3-2 count. What a pattern in that first inning for Roger Clemens. Goes 3-2 on Owen, Bradley, and Phelps, and strikes them all out, swinging for rather startling and awesome first inning. So he seems to be on right now. And after a half inning of play, it's Seattle 0 and the Red Sox coming up.
Mike Moore began with a flourish in his half of the inning. He struck out Evans leading off, then retired Boggs on a grounder to short, and Buckner on a fly to center. At the end of one, the score was Boston nothing and Seattle nothing.
Top of the second inning in a scoreless game. We would like to welcome back to the booth Kathy Kurtz-Ferrari, who was our AD last year, all last year. She's done one thing. She's changed her name. Got married, and we're happy to have her back. And we are very pleased to have had Amy Croak here for the times before Kathy returned. So all is well. Amy will be working with the opposing team broadcasters. We'd also like to welcome back Walter Underhill, who was the Writers' Good Guy of the Year award at their writers' dinner last year. He's now back behind the wood, the hardwood, in the bar upstairs in the press room. Welcome back to Walter. He'd been indisposed for a while. Roger Clemens was welcoming the Seattle Mariners pretty heftily in the first inning. He struck them out 1-2-3. Pattern was the same. He went 3-2 on 3 hitters and got them swinging. Gorman Thomas, designated hitter, hitting .220 with 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Ball 1. There's a shot to left field. Rice back. He's got it. That ball hit hard. Thomas, who has hit the Red Sox hard in the past, this time lines to Jim Rice in left field. One down in the second, and Jim Presley, third baseman, up. He's hitting .208. That's far below what he can do. 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in for Presley. 7 hits in his last 51 times up. The kind of struggle that he has had. There's a strike. Hitting .137 in his last 13 games. He's a better player than that and a better hitter than that. Strike, cutting that outside corner. Roger seems to be in the rhythm. Velocity is there. That didn't take long at all. A little wrinkle on that third pitch. And Presley is out. Strikeout number 4 for Clemens.
Not much question about Roger being on a roll right now. He's doing it both ways, with the heater and with a good sharp breaking ball. That one didn't get really to where he would like to have had it, but it had enough velocity on it that still, these Mariners with a little bit of a slow bat. Roger even got the breaking ball by Presley there.
Ivan Calderon, the right fielder, lunging for strike 1. Clemens has struck out 10 or more 5 times in his career, 4 times at Fenway. He's got strike 2 on Calderon. Working on his 5th strikeout now if he can get it. Fans are starting to get excited early. 0-2 to Calderon. Got him right across that outside corner, and 2 more strikeouts for Clemens. He's got 5. After an inning and a half, no score.
Did you realize that early part of the ball game, and I know you've had good control, you've had it your whole career, did you realize that you're making not only power type pitches, but pitchers type pitches to record a lot of those strikeouts? Were you aware? Were you trying to throw to the small plate?
Right. I was hoping that somebody had noticed that. I was back there. Sometimes I get behind, in the first couple innings, I was having to tow it up toe-to-toe with a couple guys and go right after them. But me and Getter moving the ball in and out quite a bit. I think I maybe threw about 10 or 11 breaking balls only the whole night. But when I threw them, they were right there, wide on the outside corner, and we were going in and out. And like I said, I had some good stuff, whether I was throwing the ball, 97, 98 or whatever. But if I think if I was throwing the ball 88 miles an hour, that would still been a good pitch, and it just worked out for the best.
Bud Thunder. It's revved up and coming at
Jim Rice leading off in the second for the Red Sox. No score in this one, as Roger Clemens has put on a 5-strikeout display in the first 2 innings. Mike Moore. Fly ball, right field, fairly deep, but under it out there is Calderon, and he's got it for the out. Rice with a .235 average and 3 home runs flying out on the first pitch. It's raining in New York right now, delaying the start of the game between the Minnesota Twins and the New York Yankees. The scheduled pitchers are John Butcher for the Twins and Ron Guidry, 3-0 for the Yankees. California underway at Toronto. No score in the bottom of the first. Kirk McCaskill against Dave Stieb. Stieb has yet to win a game. Don Baylor up, and a foul tip for a strike. Baltimore at Chicago. Tom Seaver has returned to California for a death in the family. He'd been out there before attending his mother, so he is not with the White Sox. He was scheduled to start tonight. In tight to Baylor, who has a .234 mark with 4 home runs. Gene Nelson, the White Sox pitcher against McGregor in Chicago tonight. Ball 2. Kansas City Royals nothing. The Tigers nothing. Bottom of the first at Detroit. Dennis Leonard against Frank Tanana. Oakland at Milwaukee. Cleveland at Texas later. 2-1 to Don Baylor. Mike Moore on the mound. Slider for a strike. 2-2. The New York Mets, with a 9-game winning streak on the line, are leading the Atlanta Braves 7-5 in a wild win in the 6th inning at Atlanta. Ron Darling is long gone, relieved by Bereni and Leach. For the Mets, that's high to Baylor. 3-2. Mailer relieved by McMurtry for Atlanta. Strawberry hit a home run, his 3-run job, his second. And Claudell Washington hit one, his second, for the Braves. Slowly hit to third, charged by Presley, barehanding it, and safe at first base. Off the bag with a foot was the first baseman, Ken Phelps. And it'll go as a base hit for Baylor.
Good little play by Presley. Of course, with a 3-2 count on Baylor, Presley's going to be back to take advantage of that range and coverage. He comes charging hard, makes a good strong throw, and I believe Baylor would have been out had Phelps stayed on the bag. But he tried to cheat to help that play along a little bit. Came off the bag a little bit too early. And Tim Welke right there to make the proper call.
Little squib hit for Baylor. He's at first with 1 out, and Rich Gedman up. Ball 1. Gedman batting .293. A couple of home runs and 6 runs batted in. Other National League games, Montreal's at Cincinnati. 0-0 after 1. Smith against Soto. Strike on Gedman. Houston at Philadelphia. The Astros have won 3 in a row. They did not score in the top of the first. Phillies now batting. Ryan against Shane Rawley. Nolan Ryan for the Astros, 3-2, and Rawley is 2-1. A nice save there by Phelps on a bad throw by Moore. The Cubs are at San Diego, St. Louis at San Francisco, and Pittsburgh at Los Angeles later on tonight. 1-1. Chop to the right side and taken care of by Danny Tartabull. That moves Baylor to second. Gedman is out there, 2 away. Danny Tartable making a visit to Fenway Park for the first time, a place where his dad played on the pennant winners of 1967. Jose Tartable, there's Danny, who already has hit more home runs this early season than his dad had in the career, I believe. I think Jose had 2, I'm not sure. But the Bull was a good player. He was fast. He was really a great addition to that club. He came over in '66 and stayed for 2 or 3 years. And it's his son now playing second base. Marty Barrett. The breaking ball by Mike Moore, ball 1. Barrett is hitting .327. Tops on the club. 1 home run, 5 batted in.
Jose, the bad singer in the shower, though.
Yeah.
No matter whether he had a good day or a bad day, he was still bad as a songster.
I joined him in several choruses on a train once cross country when we had to take a train instead of a plane. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Played with him just a short while in Louisville in 1970. He was caught in one of those numbers jobs there, and they sent him there, and he played for just a little while.
He was quite a guy, though. Always upbeat.
Oh, he was that. He was one of those guys that wanted to play 15, 16 innings every day instead of just 9 if you would have let him.
He could fly. He could run. Made one of the big plays in the '67 season when he threw out Ken Berry at home plate in Chicago, which potentially the winning run of a ball game. And he didn't have an arm at all, but he unloaded, and Berry, who could really run, was put out by Elston Howard. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, looking at the size of Danny Tartable against Jose, he's about twice as strong looking as Jose ever was from their bill. Jose, kind of like a soda straw if he turns sideways.
A little oil can Boyd in
yeah, just
Jose.
about. That's right. Good comparison.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch. Watch it. 1-2 with 2 away. Jostled the monitor. Ready? Beautiful silhouette there. It's all in negative. Ball and 2 strikes. Grounded toward third and foul. Presley up with it, ready to fire, but called foul by Larry McCoy. And Baylor goes back to second. 2 out and 1 on in the second inning for the Red Sox in a scoreless game. Tigers got 1 in the first. They lead Kansas City 1-0 after 1 inning of play. Barrett trying to pick up Baylor for the first run if he could. Fly ball pretty well hit to left center field, back toward the gap, and it is taken out there by Henderson, going away on the warning pad. Barrett's bid for extra bases falls a little short, and that is all for the Red Sox in the second. They leave 1. And after 2 innings of play, 0-0. This copyrighted program is brought to you under pay cable TV rights granted by the Red Sox, solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and the Boston Red Sox is prohibited. Game moving along here into the 3rd inning with the Red Sox and Mariners no score. People starting to get the bat on the ball a little bit in the second after a very silent first inning thrown by 2 pitchers. Here's the way Barrett hit that ball.
He's going to make a little noise off that wall, I think, Ned, and that wind not be blowing right in his face, although as the flag will tell you right there, not really a stiff breeze blowing right into Marty's plate. Charge up pretty good. Henderson a little bit into right center, not that far. Henderson got over there to make a nice running catch and then had time to protect himself, so those pads, he got that right forearm up.
Here's Danny Tartable taking ball one. Tartable started the season very in a hurry with those 4 homers. He hasn't been hitting much lately, but then the rest of the club hasn't either.
You know what happened? That he had a little stomach virus, got sick for a couple of days. He came back and then lost a total of like 12 pounds over that time of being sick. And I don't know. I'm not sure he's really back to his full strength yet.
Not if you lose 12 pounds in a hurry like that, you aren't.
Lost 7 of them after playing that one game when he came back, and he was just kind of all run down and let out. They couldn't figure out what exactly was wrong with him. And then since then, that's the reason I couldn't figure out where he had hit more home runs.
Goes for the 3-0 pitch off Roger and fouls it back. Roger running the count to 3-0, and now it's 3-1. Tartable, kind of slide he's been in, has 2 hits in his last 28 times at bat.
What he gets for hitting all those home runs so early.
And Roger gets back again on a 3-2 count after going 3-0.
Might have drawn a little bit too much attention to himself. Pitchers around the league say, wait a minute here. Here's somebody we got to be reckoned with, and we'll bear down a little harder.
Goes to Barrett at second. And that's 1 away. Fans wanted a strikeout, number 6 from Clemens, but they got the ground out instead, and that's fine with Roger, considering he went 3-0 to Tartable. 1 down in the Mariner third. And Dave Henderson, the center field, coming up. Henderson hitting 128. 2 homers and 5 RBIs, but in the last couple of years, he at least has, on at least 2 occasions, beaten the Red Sox with home runs in this ballpark. A strike to him. 0-1. He has 2 hits in his last 20 times up. Foul back, watch it. They're coming up here about as hard as they're coming into the plate. 0-2 the count.
Thank goodness we got a little longer to watch it, though, those hitters do.
That's right. Strike 3, number 6. Henderson called out on strikes right on that outer edge.
Boy, Roger does not waste any time here. He's just looking for a good thin spot on that plate to use, and he did. He just had maybe half the ball on that outside corner, and the rest of it splitting that batter's box.
Here is Steve Yeager, catcher, and in strike 1, making his first journey to Fenway Park after spending his time with the Dodgers in the National League. Hitting 133 right now. 1 ball, 1 strike. New veteran who, well, several spring trainings ago, his name was bandied about as possibly coming to the Red Sox. All Gavin has to do is just to present the target right now to Roger the way he's going. He's upstairs with that one. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeager kind of got double trouble this year. He's got not only learn American League pitchers, but he's got to learn American League hitters.
Yeah.
File all those guys away and try to keep some kind of a mental book on them when he can go get it when needed.
Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Yeager.
One thing, Ned, Seattle's still with a little bit of a young pitching staff, and Yeager's experience back there should help them along a little bit.
Crowd yelling for the strikeout. Ball at 3. Or 2-2. Yeager came over to this ball club for left-handed reliever Ed Vandenberg. The pitch fouled off. Smallish crowd, but right now they're being treated to some pitching here by both pitchers, but mostly by Clemens with the strikeouts that he has. 6 of them so far. Fly ball, center field. And Steve Lyons in the starting lineup right there. So that takes care of the 3rd inning, and Clemens has retired 9 batters in a row. And after 2 1/2 innings, it's 0-0.
I realized something when I started Sullivan Tire many years ago. It wasn't enough to offer the best parts and tires. My customers expected more. They wanted to walk into a Sullivan Tire Family Car Care Center and be helped with personal family service.
At any of our locations, you will be treated with our family spirit, because that's what Sullivan Tire is all about.
Now, Goodyear Vector white walls on sale, only $49.95 for the P155 80R13.
Steve Lyons led off the home half of the inning by flying out to center. A still tentative Glenn Hoffman then struck out before Dwight Evans singled solidly to center. Moore bore down, however, got Boggs to sky one to left, and the inning ended as it began with no score.
In the Houston-Philadelphia game, the Phils came up with 6 runs off Nolan Ryan in the first inning, including Mike Schmidt's 5th home run. It came with 2 men on. Louis Aguayo hit a home run with a man on, his first, so they have knocking Ryan around and lead 6-0 down to Philadelphia after 1. Here it is silent movies so far as Mike Moore and Roger Clemens are hammering it out on the mound. 0-0, and Clemens has faced 9 batters, got them all, and 6 on strikes. Not a bad start, Mr. Montgomery.
Well, it isn't, Ned, especially if you're a baseball purist. Of course, you and I kind of like these games a little bit more. Just watch some pitching and not quite so much offense. Although the Red Sox do have a couple of hits, they have not been able to get anybody past second base. Baylor did get there on an infield out. Top of the order up for the Mariners. Owen swung right through that one, foul tipped it. 0-1 the count. 3 batters here scheduled up were all struck out by Roger, of course, in the first inning. He has struck out 6 now through his first 3 innings of work. Baylor in even with the bag at first. Boggs in front of the bag at third. Strike 2. Roger hasn't really played around much with the middle part of the plate. Not only is he striking some people out, he's not doing it just power-wise. He's doing it with a little bit of control mixed in. Had a couple of the strikeouts on some curveballs. The 0-2 quickly to Owen. There's the curveball raked into right field. That's the first Seattle hit. So Spike Owen, Roger's former teammate at the University of Texas, gets the first hit off Roger tonight.
Roger may have guessed with him a little bit and said, well, I think he's probably looking for the fastball. He thought I'll throw him something breaking, and a good piece of hitting by Owen to get a clean single into right field on the breaking ball. This one served it down there.
I don't know if I'd be willing to change if I had him that far behind my fastball, but Roger did, and they have their first hit. Here's the left fielder, Phil Bradley. Roger, of course, will be aware of Owen's speed a little bit at first. Red Sox infield, Hoffman and Barrett set at double play depth. Something these Mariners looking for they have not had as of late. They have not had back-to-back hits in the last 68 innings now, and have only had 2 hits in a row the last 111.
It's an amazing statistic, isn't it?
It is incredible. The one thing about it, it's not hard to figure out why their record stands at 7-12 after being 5-3 at one time. When you don't get back-to-back hits, it's just impossible to score. That's all. Again, Roger with that quick move over to first. No balls, a strike to count to the Seattle left fielder, Phil Bradley. Tries to bunt it and gets a little piece of the ball and a lot of Gedman on the foul tip, and it's 0-2.
I figure that's not a bad idea. The way he's going, you play for a run now, Fenway or not.
Not a bad idea, even the way this Mariner club is going. If Cartier put the sign on himself, especially when you're facing a Clemens, you know you have not been scoring very much. What you'd like to do maybe is get something on the board to take a little pressure off your pitchers. striking out an awful lot. You're not advancing some runners along, that's for sure. Not putting the ball in play. Just outside with the breaking ball is Roger, and it's a 1-2 count. Last 11 games for the Mariners, they've hit just 137 as a team. Once again,
he knows that Owen can run, too, a little bit. He's a pretty good runner.
Well, he either slipped just a bit coming back there, or he gave something away. His ideas looked like they were leaning towards second. Maybe they did give something away. Maybe Getty sniffed it out a little bit, too. They go with a pitch out, nothing going, 2-2. Third base coach. Struck him out. Went right to the inside corner and very hard on the fastball from Roger. And that's number 7.
So he says, let's go back to what got me here, and here's the fastball, and try to hit it. And it's right at a good spot to get Bradley out of there. Number 7.
First baseman Ken Phelps. Jim Mahoney coaching down at third for the Mariners. Former Red Sox and my former teammate Darren Johnson. And the hitting instructor, the coach over at first. Quick throw there. Owen back in time. Ball just a little bit behind Owen and Baylor, but no advancement.
Actually, Jim Mahoney was first signed by the Red Sox, too. He played there at their club in Minneapolis before when they were AAA there.
Another look over for Owen. He was an infielder, wasn't he?
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Shortstop.
Darren Johnson, of course, he owes a title for some tape measure jobs in a lot of ballparks, both American and National League. Phelps has that ball thrown right by him by Roger, and it's an 0-1 count. One down in the top of the 4th inning. No score in this one, as it's been all pitching. Clemens against Mike Moore. Talked about Western Division clubs during spring training. You certainly had to think about the Seattle Mariners. Not that they were ready to win over there, but ready to give some people some problems, and going into series thinking, well, they can win some games, and I'm sure they felt that way. And probably still do.
I believe, Monty, that they've got enough young talent on this club that they can still make some noise over there and be at least a long shot to contend and make it interesting for the folks in Seattle. Presley and Bradley are good players. Davis, Alvin Davis.
And some good young pitchers. The throw a little bit off the mark there. And looked like Owen did have an idea of going to second. Either that or Rogers' move just kind of tricked him. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to the Mariner first baseman, Ken Phelps. Hole for him, of course, on that right side to pull into. But I suppose with a pitcher's speed like Clemens, you don't really consider that much of a hole on that side. There is a little respect for Phelps' ability to pull the ball, though. Lyons shades him, maybe 4 or 5 steps into right center field. And again, Roger over to first. I would think that if we were in the National League, or maybe with 1 or 2 other umpires in this league tonight, Owen would have already scored.
Be around on the box.
On the box, yeah.
That's right.
That's a very close clothesline move that Roger's using. Struck him out. Looked like the hard slider there, and Roger has gone to the snowman. That's number 8.
Boy, he is using those corners tonight. He'll give away ball 2 or ball 3 occasionally. This time, drifting And that was just right up there around the letters. Try it and see.
The one Mariner hitter who has really slammed the ball off Roger tonight steps in now. Gorman Thomas, the designated hitter. He sent one on a screaming line drive to Rice and left. Misses that one. 0-1.
This crowd used to getting cheers about triples, home runs, and things. Are getting a treat so far tonight, aren't they?
Well, I tell you, Ned, I think they're going to see a lot of this during the course of the year. Certainly Roger, if he can stay strong, they're going to get it from Hurst, and they should be able to get it from Oil Can Boyd. Foul tipped in and out of the glove of Gedman. No balls, 2 strikes to Thomas. We look at this four-man rotation, especially. Al Nipper, who says he's not a strikeout man, has had more than his share, though, in his early goings. We know Lawler can strike out people. We know that Mike Brown can strike out people. Speaking of that, Mike Brown will figure as John McNamara's #5 starter, as that rotation will get going now. The 0-2 just misses the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So you look at this Red Sox pitching staff. Jim Mahoney going through shoot. I don't know what kind of signs you give other than maybe something to Owen over at first to get your designated hitter off the hook with a stolen base or get caught stealing. One thing for sure, Gorman Thomas didn't look down there. Breaking ball misses, and it's outside to count Evels at 2-2. Look at this pitching staff, Ned. May, just maybe, could reach 550 or 600 strikeouts. I don't know about 1,000. Another quick look by Roger on Owen. You have to give them 150 apiece out of the 4 of them, or average.
That's terrific there. Yeah.
You bet it is. You bet. And none of those fellows much walk anybody. Oh, had an idea and held it up just in time as they asked Tim Welke at first. He said no. So it's a 3-2 count on Thomas. This will give Owen with some speed a head start.
Crowd putting the pressure on the umpires right now. They want to see the strikeout. This pitch wasn't far from being a strike. It really wasn't. That's a good high American League strike. Possibly sometime. Would not be in the National League, and Welke says no.
That's the 6-3-2 count for Roger. Now Roger, a little cat and mouse game as Baylor will play behind Owen now. They don't choose to hold him on over at first. They figure he's going to go anyway, so they'll actually he's kind of holding him on, but he's just dead behind him. He'll move quicker than usual though to defensive set. Popped up right side. Playable for Baylor as he drifts into foul ground now. And has it go off his glove. And that's the play we mentioned that just doesn't like to make.
He's very uncertain on those. He says so himself. Seemed to be right there. Wasn't that hard. And it just went above his head and healed off his glove. He hasn't played first base for about 3 years. That gives Roger another chance.
That's right. Boy, there's nobody hates that any worse than Don Baylor does, you can bet. A little meeting between Roger and the base runner right now, Spike Owen, as he went back across the middle to go to first. Of course, Spike well on around second on the way to third. So the payoff once again to Gorman Thomas. Struck it out. Called on a running inside corner fastball. That's number 9 for Roger, but more importantly, he erases the base hit. 1 hit for the Mariners, no score, and they leave one. After 3.5, there is no score in this game with the Red Sox and the Mariners. When you've got a night like you got last night, you say, Roger, I know I'm throwing at 95. I know I'm throwing at 92. You happen to be clocked quite a few times at around 97. But do you know that? Can you tell?
Well, I realized I was throwing the ball fairly harder than I had before. And through the first 4 innings, my wife was sitting with there was 3 scouts in the stands with the guns. And I was only throwing 95 for the first 4 or 5 innings. And then after that, I stayed up 97. I threw 2 pitches at 98, which is the hardest I've thrown. So you know, like I said, it's not whether how hard I'm throwing it. A game like that and how tight the game was, you can't get carried away and caught up in the strikeouts because you can get hurt.
Roger, those scouts, I talked to those same scouts. They told me you wore that batteries out. You had that light on so high last night.
Well, I hope so. You know, it's fun to go out there and be able to throw the ball that hard. And I tell you, this morning when I woke up, I felt like that piece of meat in Rocky that Rocky was punching on. Boy, I was having time rolling around, but it was fun. And I just, you know, I really thank the Lord for watching over me.
In the bottom of the fourth, Bill Buckner grounded to short for the first out. Jim Rice then singled up the middle. It was erased easily when Don Baylor struck out into a double play. The Red Sox had managed just 3 singles thus far off Mike Moore and looked as futile in their efforts to score off him as the Mariners did off Roger Clemens.
Here's a look at the strike him out, throw him out. Rice, of course, as we mentioned, with a little bit of a hobble in that leg. And a good nasty pitch here once again. That hard slider from Moore, and Yeager with a lot of time to come out of there and fire. Of course, Rice not trying to steal the base. They're trying to stay out of the double play, and he is out by a long ways. Strikeout number 3 for Moore on that one. That's the 22nd double play turn by the Mariners this year. And Ned, we'll just go back to you. We watch Roger and Gedman play catch for a little while longer if you want to.
I'd say Roger's fairly strong tonight, wouldn't you?
Maybe those 2 days more he got onto his start, 2 more days of rest have really been something for him. One thing, right after that first inning, he was a little high in that first inning, and although he had some 3-2 counts, did strike out the side, which he did also in the fourth after giving up a hit. But he's kind of gotten himself right down in that slot now in those in-between innings.
He went out and threw about 5 to 7 minutes in the rain in Kansas City after the game was called, and figured to get his throwing in, but he really didn't work an awful lot then. So he is hyper tonight. He has fanned 9. He has given up 1 hit through 4 innings. He faces Jim Presley. 1 ball, no strikes to the third baseman. Presley went down swinging in the second. He was number 4. No breeze right now. It's not a factor. Drops the breaking pitch over for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And without that wind coming in, it's a little bit warmer than it was really at the opening of the game. There's 2 of them. Went for the high pitch, tried to hold it back, and went to 1 knee.
Now, this is what happens when you're trying to catch up to a fastball. You realize you're a little bit behind. You get yourself a little bit too anxious because you're trying to get out in front and catch up to it. You make yourself swing at some bad pitches, especially that fastball up.
1-2 delivery, fouled off. Breaking ball that time, fouled up the screen. A ball and 2 strikes. Kind of overthrew the breaking ball that time for ball 2, 2-2. Roger fanned the side in the first, got 2 strikeouts in the second, 1 in the third, and 3 more in the fourth. And 1 in the fifth so far. That's number 10. So he goes on.
Bonus time has come early here for the Red Sox, and the Jimmy fun tonight is Roger Clemens has pumped up 10. That gets you right over the bonus hump there, and then, boy, it's just like, well, it's it's a cakewalk from here on out.
$1,500 right now.
Yes, sir. All sponsored by the Polaroid Corporation.
There is Calderon for strike 1. He was called out on strikes in the second. 6 times now in his career has Roger fanned 10 or more, and 5 of them have been at Fenway. Most recently was against the Tigers, April 22nd this year. He struck out 10. Foul, strike 2. He's ahead of Calderon, 0-2, and this crowd is getting turned on. They're small, but they're mighty when he gets 2 strikes on somebody. Strike 3, Calderon. On the outer edge. Calderon does not not like the call, and that's number 11.
Well, I don't blame him for not liking it. The big thing there, and we've mentioned it a couple of times, not only is he getting the strikeouts, he's not necessarily doing it power-wise. He's doing it with just little bitty pieces of the plate. Now, he's been in, and he'll go out right here. Only about a half of that ball's on the plate.
Tartable, strike one. Tartable grounded out to second base to achieve a notoriety of some sort. At least he made contact with the ball in the third inning. Strike two. Boy, what a show he's putting on now. The crowd yelling again for him. Gedman was going to put himself out there anyway and just dare Tartable to reach. He would have had to reach across the plate for it. And what is impressive is the fact that most power pitchers will try to go down the middle. He's using the corners. Ball two. And he's using as you mentioned, very little of the plate on each side, but willing to throw, okay, ball two, but I still have this thing that I can throw for strike three.
Well, you know what? He's still pitching. He's not just winding up throwing the ball. He's just, right now, unhittable.
2-2 pitch. Strike three. Clemens gets the side. He has now struck out 12 through 5 innings. 1, 2, 3 they go, and we go to the bottom of the fifth. No score.
Hi, I'm Don Baylor, here to tell you kids how you can get a handy Red Sox Coca-Cola flight bag. It's a perfect back-to-school item, just right for notebooks, lunches, or anything else you need to carry. You can also use it as a gym bag or overnight bag. The only way to get your Red Sox bag is coming by Fenway Park on Saturday, August 16th, when the Red Sox take on the Detroit Tigers. It's yours free. Compliments of Coca-Cola. So come get your Red Sox flight bag Saturday, August 16th, and go back to school in style.
You can earn up to $3,000 for your nonprofit community group. The Red Sox Community Game Program is designed to raise funds for your group, as well as provide an entertaining event at the ballpark for community members. Call Michael Silver, Red Sox Group Sales Director, at 262-1915 for more details. Well, that was the inside part of the plate there to Mr. Tartable.
He knew it, too.
That umpire's been busy. Mr. Voltaggio had that right hand. He may have to go get a rub down on that before this game's over. Certainly he'll need one after it.
Meanwhile, the cosmetics have been applied by Clemens with the 12 strikeouts, but his opposite number, Mike Moore, has given up 3 hits and also no runs where it counts. He has struck out 3 along the way. His last one resulted in a double play in the 4th inning. So he has done his job, too. And we've got a 0-0 corker going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Rich Gedman up. Gedman grounded to second base in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. Moore has been using breaking stuff to advantage. Neither pitcher has walked a batter tonight. 2-0 count to Rich. He lines it fair down the line and right. Caroming off. Ball in play. The ball thrown in there by Calderon. He is out at second. Rich Gedman with a hard enough single so that Calderon in right could play it nicely off the carom and throw him out at second base. Shortstop Spike Owen taking the throw.
Well, there's not much way you can hit a ball any harder than this. We've seen Gedman really waylay on some pitches this year. There's just one more of them. He really gets right on top of that ball. And really, the ball is hit so hard, you would figure that he may not have a chance to go to second anyway, and boy, did he not. Calderon with a good play there for a visiting player.
Take it nicely, perfectly off the boards there, and that overhand throw on one hop to get Gedman And Getty had no chance. So it's a single wasted. 1 ball, no strikes. Barrett with a count of 1 ball, no strikes. Marty flied deep to center field in the 2nd inning, coming close to the wall, but Henderson went back on the track. There's a strike on Marty. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Red Sox now have 4 hits in the game, but a couple of them have been erased. One on the strikeout into a double play, and this one with out trying to stretch for Gedman. 1 ball, 1 strike to Marty Barrett. 0-0, bottom of the 5th, and a dandy. Just outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I'll assure you, Ned, there are 18 players, actually make that 20 since we have the DH. There are 20 players that are excited about playing in this kind of game because you got to stay on your toes. You know you want to make that good play when you have an opportunity to make it, just like Calderon did there. Certainly your pitcher and catcher are interested.
Ball 4, and there's the first walk given up by either pitcher. Barrett walks with 1 out. Right now, that makes that throw by Calderon look pretty important. We'll see. Steve Lyons fly to center field in the 3rd inning. No runs, 1 hit for Seattle. No runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Red Sox. 12 strikeouts so far for Roger Clemens. If you just joined us, he has fanned the last 6 in a row, which ties an all-time Red Sox record for consecutive strikeouts in a game. Ray Culp has 1 of them, and Buck O'Brien did it a long time ago. Culp did it in 1970. O'Brien did it in 1913 at Washington, old Griffith Stadium, and Ray Culp did it on the 11th of May. And Roger has done it here tonight so far. 6 going, and a possibility of 7. That was at California where Culp did it. Lyons up with a count of 1 ball, no strikes. They're playing in New York now. Minnesota got 2 home runs in the 2nd inning to lead Guidry and the Yankees 2-0. Tim Loudner and Lombardazzo hit back-to-back home runs. Lombardazzo with his first major league career home run off Guidry, but after Loudner hit 1. 1-0 to Lyons. 2-0 to Steve.
I'll get a phone call somewhere after the game tonight, boy. You'll be talking about that to parents or family or somewhere. Not many guys break in with that first one off.
Somebody like Guidry.
Off lightning, that's right.
Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes to Lyons. Carved foul out of play, 2-1. Toronto leading California 3-1 after 3 at Toronto. Joyner is homered for the Angels. McCaskill against Steve. Baltimore nothing, the White Sox nothing in the 3rd at Chicago. Royals 1, Detroit 1 after 4 at Detroit. Dennis Leonard in that one against Frank Tanana. 2-1 to Lyons, and the throw, another hard throw over to first base by Moore. Joe Carter of Cleveland's hit a home run in the 1st inning, his 4th of the year, and Cleveland has at least a 1-0 lead over Texas down in Arlington. Fly ball, well hit to center field. Henderson back, still back, and there at 379 with the catch. And Barrett back to first as Lyons gives it a ride, but nobody can get it to either side. They've been making the long shots to center field here.
It's kind of the pretty play you like to see the outfielder make, Ned. The crack of the bat, he puts his head down like Henderson does here. Just puts his head down. He's got to guess, anticipate about where that ball is going to go. He knows it's hit hard. then he'll just look up when he figures he's just about right. And, boy, that's right where Henderson is. He took it right into that corner.
Makes it look easy that way, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Of course, he's going to run faster for one thing with not trying to watch the ball those first 4 or 5 steps.
Glenn Hoffman struck out his first time up and fouls this one off, strike 1. Well, he got a couple of people on that one, I believe. He did get the umpire Voltaggio, certainly. And maybe Yeager. It's a strike to Hoffman. Fouled off, strike 2. Cincinnati won, Montreal nothing, but Montreal's piled up some runs in the 4th inning. Andre Dawson has hit his 6th home run. Hubie Brooks won right after that for his home run, his 5th. Tim Wallach, his 3rd. Fitzgerald, his 2nd, all in the same inning. So Montreal has gone ahead of Cincinnati. Knocked out Soto. Brought Price in. Zane Smith going for Montreal. A ball and 2 strikes to Glenn Hoffman. Bryn Smith, that is. There are Bryn, Lee Smith, Zane Smith, and Bryn Smith all over the place, and all pitchers.
That's right.
2 and 2.
You know, I'll tell you, the only way I can remember him, because I got wound up in that thing the other day, is Zane pitches for Atlanta, and he's closer to the west. And it reminds me of Zane Gray, so that's how I remember it.
Well, that's good, a thought association right there.
Best I can do.
Another bullet over to first base by Moore.
I think Phelps going to have to wonder if he's got the right kind of glove on over there in a minute.
Glenn Hoffman with a count of 2 and 2 and 2 out. Cracks it foul again. Count hangs that way. Down to the left side, Presley with it, and over to second to Tartable for the out. The force is made, and the inning is over. And the Red Sox get a hit and a walk, but they leave 1. And after 5 innings, it is still 0-0. And now a message from your Mass Chevy dealers, the place to get the truck deal of a lifetime. Well, we're to the top of the 6th inning in a rapidly moving affair at Fenway, and this man is one of the names, is the name, along with his opposite number, Mike Moore. Roger Clemens has struck out 12 so far. The last Red Sox player to strike out 12 in a game was Oil Can Boyd. He did it in consecutive starts last April and May. Clemens' high is 15. He struck out 15 Kansas City Royals. He has fanned 12 through 5 innings, and he's struck out the last 6 men to face him. So we'll watch this rather carefully. Almost lost in the shuffle is Mike Moore, who's pitching a heck of a ball game. He has struck out only 3. He's given up 4 hits, but he has given up no runs.
Might be one pitch make the difference in this ball game tonight, Mr. Martin.
Could be. I wonder. I'm thinking of Dave Henderson a lot. This ball club. I hate to think that.
Because he's leading off, you mean?
He's broken up a couple with late inning home runs here. Won a 1-0 game, I believe. And Dave Henderson is up right now. He took a 3rd strike in the 3rd inning. He was number 6 for Clemens.
Actually, all of them can just about take a number now somewhere along the line.
Everybody, just about, except Yeager. He's only been up once. Strike 1. The crowd getting fired up. One ball, 1 strike.
Well, they can talk about Dr. K if they want to, but tonight, I don't know. He wouldn't be any better. He might be even.
Yeah. Ball 2, a little bit high. Ball 2 and strike 1.
Well, one thing, the guy that hangs up all the K's here, no matter whether he sits and in the bleachers or down left field, he is really, really going to hate himself tomorrow.
Missed the boat tonight.
He is not here tonight.
Strike 2. It is 2-2 to Dave Henderson. Got him. 13 and a new Red Sox record. That's 13 in the game and 7 straight strikeouts for Roger Clemens, setting a Red Sox mark for consecutive batters struck out in a game.
This is just about as pretty as you'd want to make it.
Here is Steve Yeager. He flied to center field his first time up. Strike 1 there. So he is the only one that Roger has not fanned so far.
I don't know about you, but every strike he throws sending cold chills down my spine.
Strike 2. Yeah, I know what you mean. And you know, usually a rhythm pitcher is somebody who's kind of a finesse pitcher, but he's got a rhythm tonight along with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Did he get him? No. First base umpire Tim Welke says no. And it is 2-2.
I don't know what game he's watching. That's got to be a swing there.
Looked like he went around.
Oh, my goodness. Give him the benefit of the doubt, if nothing else.
Strike 3. There it is. Number 14. Now he's gotten everybody in the lineup. Oh, he is just immense out there. Everybody up.
Yeager knew it, too. Wasn't anything he could do. He knew where the pitch was, knew what it was, just couldn't do anything about it.
8 strikeouts in a row. The last time that was equaled was Ron Davis. Tom Seaver has 10 in a row. Nolan Ryan did 8 twice, or 9 twice. Strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Spike Owens, who has struck out, and he has the only Mariner hit. He singled sharply to right field on a breaking pitch in the 4th inning after 2 strikes were on him. And he hits another one hard. Way back goes Lyons. Got it. And a 1-2-3 inning for Roger Clemens. Gets a tremendous hand as he goes off the field, as he has fanned 14 through 6 innings. And we move to the bottom of the 6th. 0-0. This is the way it is in the bottom of the 6th inning. And this only tells part of the story. The other part, a third of it, 1 hit for Seattle. And the biggest part, 14 strikeouts for Roger Clemens through 6 innings. Dwight Evans up. And Mike Moore. There's a ball behind Tarnable. And Evans gets a life. Danny Tarnable muffs one with, took a quick hop on him as Evans gets on the error. So the Red Sox have the lead man on in an inning. Ball was tailing in a little bit, hit it hard, but right at Tarnable, and Danny just missed it, went behind him, couldn't find it, and it's an error to the second baseman. A very important runner, well, everybody that gets on in this game is very important, is Dwight Evans in a 0-0 game, and Mike Moore, pitching a fine game in his own right, has held the Red Sox scoreless. He has fanned 3. He has walked but 1. Wade Boggs is up. He's 0 for 2. They look for the bunt on the third base side. Takes ball 1. Presley way in on the grass on the third base side. And Boggs checking with Rene Latchman at third. It's low for a ball. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Boggs.
Those 6 innings, Clemens has thrown 92 pitches, 60s for strikes.
1 ball, 1 strike to Wade. It's the kind of game where you figure it's tough for any pitcher to lose. The way they've been pitching different types of games, but accomplishing the same end, holding the other team scoreless. Presley in still at third, but not as far. Runner breaks. A throw down to second base, and he is out of there. Danny Tarnable puts the throw on the second time that Yeager, with that little quick sidearm throw, has nailed a runner. Now, whether a sign was missed or whether it was just had to be a hit and run situation, and Boggs did not offer.
I think you're absolutely right, Mr. Martin. I see some awful frowning looking faces. One from Evans, the first, and then back to McNamara. On that hit and run, as we've said so many times, the base runner not trying to actually steal the base, so you're not really trying to get that big jump.
Trying to get him down there with Boggs up there. 3-1 to Wade, and there is 3-2. So the Red Sox miss another opportunity. They've had 2 runners thrown out. 1 runner thrown out from the outfield trying to stretch a single to a double. The other 2 thrown out by Yeager behind the plate. A walk to Boggs, and wouldn't you know that? Second walk given up by Moore. One out, 1 on. Mike Moore working in the telephone booth that is Fenway Park when you're in a 0-0 game. Buckner has gone 0 for 2. He has fly to center and grounded to shortstop. Ball 1.
Pressure may be a little bit more on Moore tonight, Ned, than it would be on Clemens. Moore knows that his team has not been scoring a lot of runs. He's watched 14 of his teammates go down swinging tonight. He may figure that 1 run is going to be the difference in a game, so you start maybe as a pitcher trying to get a little finer, and that's when you're apt to make that mistake.
Boggs just getting back. He had enough of a lead where he knew he could get back standing up. 1 more step and he could get back maybe with a dive. 1 ball, no strikes. And a good strike thrown across the outside corner to Buckner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Billy Buckner in a 0-0 game, bottom of the 6th.
Saw a little something right at the end of the signs from Yeager there. The little, after he'd given the wiggle sign, a little thumb flip. That was a sign for Moore to just come. There it is again. Come set and take a good throw over to first.
Hit off the hands by Buckner, and he'll need another bat after that one. Right at the thumbnails and fingernails and bat. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Buck.
To use that little thumb flip with your catchers a lot here. We used it for a while. As a catcher, if I wanted to find out something, if the base runner maybe give me something away, and certainly this ball game, a stolen base may be the difference. Stolen base and a base hit, you may have your ball game. So in order to find out something, maybe you wanted your pitcher to come set and give you a good move over to first, not just a move, a very good move. Sometimes that base runner would give you something away and give you a little bit of an advantage. No flip this time.
Pitch to the plate is in order. Buckner goes to left field, fairly deep, and is up off the wall. Boggs goes to third. Buckner goes to second. Runners at second and third. A line drive to left field. Bradley tried for it with a leap and went over his head off the scoreboard.
The play I think Bradley could have caught had he stayed with it. He just really misplayed the ball, not being that familiar with left field and the wall here. He's going to stop it and jump too quick. He could have gone another 2 steps maybe to get to that ball. He's not sure exactly if he's run out of room or what kind of room he's got left. Ball that would have been reachable for him had he gotten back there. Easy for Boggs to go to third. Of course, Buckner with the double. And Phil Regan, the pitching coach, to the mound.
Buckner's 7th double, and Jim Rice will be the batter. Now they have to decide what they want to do with Rice up there with 1 out. Baylor on deck. How they want to do it. With all of a sudden the Red Sox have created a situation here which Moore has not been in before, with runners at second and third and 1 at third for the first time tonight. Jim Rice in this game tonight has flied to right field and singled to left center. And the infield will be brought in. And Yeager, looking toward the dugout, will crouch behind the plate. Infield in all the way around. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Grounder to shortstop, and the runners will have to hold. Rice is out. And now there are 2 away, and there's a big break for Moore as the infielders can move back now. Jim Rice grounds to short on the first pitch. Now, Don Baylor is the hitter. Moore doing a nice job that time after giving up the, well, there's an error on what should have been out number 1 on Tartables, and they got him anyway as Evans was caught down at second base. A walk to Boggs, then the wall double by Buckner, which, as Monty pointed out, might have been caught out there by Bradley. Here's Baylor. Carves the inside pitch into the crowd on the third base dugout side. Baylor has had an infield hit and struck out into a double play. He struck out on a breaking pitch. And the runner at first base, Rice, was caught going to second. Another one. This time he has zeroed in the dugout and went a little farther. Not quite so much foul as the first one, but hit harder. 0-2.
Manager Chuck Cartier, he's protected. He's going to get right behind that screen there.
So now Baylor is down on the count, 0-2. Runners at second and third. Struck him out. Dropped down, threw in the breaking pitch, and the Red Sox chances go by the boards in the 6th inning. They do not score. They leave 2 big ones. And after 6, it's 0-0.
Every classic stage has its great players, and Fenway Park has had its share of the best. Jimmy Fox, Ted Williams, yes, and the Red Sox tradition at Fenway Park continues. Head to Fenway Park to see the Red Sox this season. Visit the Red Sox ticket office at 4 Yawkey Way or charge tickets by calling 267-1700. Red Sox baseball, a Boston tradition.
There's a doubleheader.
Boy, I'll say there's a doubleheader. Mr. Niehaus, the gentleman on the left, and the right-hander, the man on the right hand. I'd like to welcome him back to Boston. That's Mr. Ken Brett, who he and I were, that was my first roommate in the big leagues, by the way.
I remember that.
As a matter of fact, he was greeting to me today. He said, who would ever thought that back in 1970, you and I as roommates would wound up be behind a microphone some 12 years later or so.
Neither one of you would have won any money on the bet like that.
No, guaranteed.
Well, I tell you, after 6 innings, it's 0-0 here. They're having some people, evicting people who are going out on the field now. As these guys look at what is happening here, you can tell the Mariners' strikeouts, 14 of them for Roger Clemens. in an exciting baseball game at Fenway Park, and some of the clowns are out on the field now and being taken care of. But it is almost a celebration time, and Monty, usually at Fenway Park, the excitement builds when the Red Sox come up in the bottom of an inning. Now it is building into the top of every inning.
Boy, you're so right, especially tonight. These fans are right on Rogers' side all the way, and they have been actually right from first strikeout. Ned, the count went to 3-2 on Owen, and he proceeded to strike out the side. It's just gotten better as the night has gone along. 2 times this young man has struck out. Here's the left fielder, Phil Bradley, in the 7th. You know, I was thinking about this a moment ago. After the 3-2 count to Owen as he led off, he had a couple of foul balls in his count. But since then, they have not been that many foul balls on Roger. He has just been coming right after hitters and getting them. Needless to say, he's been getting them as he has struck out 14, 2/3 of his way to number 15, his career high. No balls, 2 strikes the count to Bradley. No score in this one as yet, and as you keep mentioning, Ned, and very rightfully so, a good bit of pitching by Mike Moore, especially good pitching by him in that 6th inning. Rice maybe a little over anxious, helped him out a little bit with 2nd and 3rd. Strike 3, number 15 for Clemens. He's tied his career high.
Well, you just maybe tape the first couple of batters in this game, and you can play it again. This is it again. Just high heat.
Oh. I looked up quickly to see Roger headed toward the Red Sox dugout without any indication of anything. As far as arm was concerned, all he wanted was a tongue depressor, though, to clean out his shoes.
Don't give me that again.
Oh. Well, you talking about all those chills I had go down my spine and those strikeouts.
Here you are for the Red Sox strikeouts. Mambo did it in Washington in a night game. I think it was in extra innings.
Were you there for that game?
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah, I was. It was 61.
I think he put a few curveballs on them boys. He would have done it a little different than I think Roger would have done it tonight, although Mambo had a pretty good fastball.
No, I don't think it was extra. He just did it. That was a night record at one time.
Ken Phelps. He is 0 for 2. Both times he's been up there, he has struck out. Baylor hugging the line at first. Boggs a bit off the line at 3rd for the Seattle first baseman. Out of play. The ball goes one way, the bat the other. No balls, 2 strikes to count to Phelps. The left-hander is Guterman, number 36 there, and the right-hander, of course, you might remember, Peter Ladd, formerly Bigfoot is right. Bigfoot, really Bigfoot. Peter Ladd, formerly with the Milwaukee Brewers. Guterman can really throw hard, so can Ladd. Here's the 0-2. Laid off the high pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mariners do have Nunez back on their roster tonight. He has been on the disabled list. Check the swing, just fouled it away. Ned mentioned earlier with the strikeout to Yeager back in the 6th, no Seattle batter has escaped Rogers' strikeout mark tonight. And as you can imagine, a lot of them have gone down twice. Breaking ball and a good one, but just a bit low, and it's 3-2 now to Phelps.
Roger, through 6 innings, had thrown 92 pitches, 60 of them for strikes.
Seems hardly enough.
pretty good average there.
He'd have to throw about that many strikes and strike out as many as he's got. It's 2-2, not 3-2. Struck him out. On the foul tip, that's number 16 for Roger. I thought the count was 2-2, but I wasn't going to argue, and I was correct. At any rate, it winds up 2-3.
comes on the 2-2 pitch. Just mad, nasty pitch. Breaking down and away from a left-handed batter.
Designated hitter Gorman Thomas. Big swing and a miss, strike one. That Mambo Ked game was indeed in Washington, and it was 17, and he did it in 9 innings. He beat Washington, by the way, 2-1. I'd like to know how Washington got a point.
That was on the tail end of a
double play,
19-game road trip that we went on.
Fastball just a bit high.
That was my first long road trip in '61. They went to Detroit and Cleveland, and Jackie Jensen jumped the club. They went to Kansas City, Minnesota, L.A., and then back to Washington before coming home.
Five hits for Boston, 1 for Seattle. No score, and it's 1-2 to Thomas. Well, you have to think, too, that these Mariner hitters know that they've struck out a lot. And these people at Fenway are all standing. Fly ball, straight away, center field, deep. Lyons right at the grill work. It's a home run. Ooh. Right up over the grill work for Gorman Thomas. It's 1-0 Seattle. That's number 5 for the big designated hitter.
Boy, that's what you think sometimes in this ballpark, in any ballpark, when you have a game like this. One thing like that can ruin a whole night for somebody. And he's the kind of guy that can put a game away with one swing of the bat. That's only the second Mariner hit. Ball out over the plate where he could extend on it. And he delivered a time. Lyons for a minute thought he could have it, but it just kept going. He went as far back as he could.
0-1 count to Bradley following that. You know, Ned, what had happened is I look up quickly at the flag. Although I don't know if that would have made a difference, it certainly would have been a hit. Certainly was going to be high off the wall. But that flag now blowing toward the center field area. Strike 2 to Bradley. Or make that Presley, excuse me. Roger may be thinking a little bit about that pitch to Thomas as he backed off the mound and took more time right there tonight than he has, I think, between any of his pitches. The 0-2. Toward the right side, Baylor will feed on to Clemens covering first, and the Mariners are retired, but they break the ice in this real pitching duel here tonight. After 2 strikeouts, the 2-out homer by Gorman Thomas, and at the end of 6 1/2, that's the score, 1-0 Seattle. Well, as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, the Seattle Mariners coming up with that run on the home run by Gorman Thomas. But when you look at it this way, Ned, you figure your team had to score a run to win anyway. So now instead of winning, they just have to come something to get a little bit even with the Seattle Mariners.
Well, Mike had their shot a couple of times, and Moore did an excellent job in the 6th inning on something that was not entirely his fault, getting the paper where they were.
Certainly didn't do that. The error committed by Tartabull. There's the difference in that flag as we started here tonight. That flag blowing right in our face here behind home plate. And now it's blowing at our back straight to center. In the 7th, Gedman, Barrett, and Lyons, the scheduled hitters against Mike Moore. Popped it up left side in foul ground. Jim Presley with a lot of room. Yeager gives way to Presley at the last second. And Gedman is out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Mike Moore has had the Red Sox on base in each of the last 5 innings. He gave up hits in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. He walked Red Sox batters in the 5th and in the 6th. But the Red Sox have not been able to do anything about it. And Barrett had a long drive to left center his first time up that looked like it might do some work. That was after Baylor had gotten to second on an infield hit and a ground out, but Dave Henderson ran that one down. That prevented the Red Sox from scoring. Marty 0 for 2. Tough pitch by Moore right on that outside corner, 0 and 1. I said Marty's 0 for 2. Excuse me, he's 0 for 1. He walked in the 5th. Reaches for the breaking ball, fouls it away. 0 and 2 the count. Red Sox with a 9-8 record. Tied for second with 2 other clubs in this American League East. 2.5 games behind the Yankees, who are getting beat right now, by the way, by a score of 4-3. To Owen at short. A real grass cutter there. He throws Barrett out, and that's 2 down. Marty, by the way, has not struck out yet in this 1986 season. He's covered 65 plate appearances now. As a matter of fact, struck out just once every 11.5 or 11.8 times, something like that, last year. So Marty well and above, running over that record. Here's center fielder Steve Lyons. Looks to bunt and takes the breaking ball off the plate outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Double barrel action in the Red Sox bullpen. Sammy Stewart and Tim Lawler. Actually, they're just probably getting some throwing in because they're past Stewart's point in the game. To the left side and through the hole. Lyons just saw the big gap over there. Seemed like he just took that pitch and steered it right through there. He'll have the 6th Red Sox hit. He's 1 for 3. So something running with a couple down here in the 7th.
Steve was looking to the left side when he bluffed the bunt the last time up, looking for a little hole somewhere. Then he found the hole by swinging away, kind of inside out at it, really, and got it into the big hole between the third baseman and shortstop.
So with 2 out now, a little speed on with Lyons at first. That'll bring up Glenn Hoffman, the shortstop. Hoffy has struck out, that back in the 3rd inning, and he bounced into a 5-4 fielder's choice that ended the 5th.
Got to watch Lyons now.
Infield, fanned out, Presley right on that line at 3rd. Lyon with a bluff on a couple extra steps on his lead. Hoffman takes it outside, ball 1. The Seattle outfield straight away, very deep, and they are sitting in a position they'll of course try to cut off a gap or keep anything from being hit over the head that might allow Lyons to score. Moore going to try to take a step from that lead right there. Pitching seems to be rather in vogue tonight, Ned. Some close scores going on. Baltimore 1-0 over Chicago after 5.5. McGregor against Nelson. It's 2-1 Detroit over Kansas City after 7. Tanana against Leonard. 1-1 after 2.5 at Milwaukee and Oakland. Carter against Wegman. So scores are fairly low. It's 1-0 here. Watch out, Hoppy. Ball looked like it might have just bent right around Hoffman's front leg.
Looked for a minute as if he was hit by it, where he could take one for the club at this point. And he just kind of danced away and almost grazed his uniform.
Pulled it back in time. 3-0 to Glenn. They've got a dandy going in Toronto. California, Toronto tied at 3 after 5. Joyner's hit his 6th home run of the year for the California Angels. That was a solo homer in the 4th inning. McCaskill against Steve in that one. Ball 4 to Hoffy's. He walks on 4 pitches. That'll move Lyons up to second in scoring position, representing the tying run. And that'll bring up Dwight Evans. The 3rd walk issued by Moore tonight. Ed Romero has come out to run for Glenn Hoffman. Ed Romero, who has been the starting Red Sox shortstop for the last 15 games.
And done a very good job of it, too.
He has indeed. As a matter of fact, Ned, the last game he played, we might remember, he hit a couple balls hard. Brett actually robbed him of 2 base hits. He could have been 2 for 3 in that game, or 2 for 4, but as it wound up, it didn't work out that way. Double barrel action now in the Seattle bullpen. That is Matt Young and Best. Carl Best is the right-hander. This Seattle ball club can throw some heat at you out of that bullpen, I will assure you. So 2 on, 2 outs for Evans. He looks one over, a bit low, ball 1. Matt Young just demoted to the Seattle bullpen. He was sent down there today, as a matter of fact. A little pitching change in the rotation for this series here in Boston. Billy Swift will pitch on Thursday in this series, taking Young's place. Drive deep to left center field. This ball is deep, gone. It's a home run. 3-run homer for Evans. The Red Sox lead 3-1.
By Dwight Evans, his second home run of the year, the first since opening day. Laced it, and everybody knew that it was going somewhere. It only has to hit to the right side of that yellow line, and that's exactly what it did. Right in there for a 3-run homer. And Dwight knew that he had at least a double on this. Had to keep watching, and then he knew, I've got the whole thing.
Boston takes the lead. It's 3-1, and Boggs has a strike on him as Evans will circle the bases. Number 2 for Dwight. Boggs 0 for 2 in the night. Well, Ned, that's one of the few times, and I mean very few times, that Evans has seen a fastball on the first pitch to him in a sequence of pitches. A lot of pitchers have been getting a lot of breaking balls and off-speed stuff.
Maybe the first one he'd seen since Jack Morris on opening day. I don't know.
He certainly hasn't seen many. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Wade. They shift him around to left, of course. And he sends it that way. But it should be catchable for Bradley as he makes the wrong turn and then finally winds up with the catch. But the Red Sox take the lead. The big 3-run homer. Dwight Evans is second of the year as we go to inning number 8. On this real pitcher's night, and it's still a pitcher's night. The Red Sox lead 3-1. You can earn up to $3,000 for your nonprofit community group. The Red Sox Community Game Program is designed to raise funds for your group as well as provide an entertaining event at the ballpark for community members. Call Michael Silva, Red Sox Group Sales Director, at 262-1915 for more details. 1 change for the Red Sox as we go to the 8th inning. We'll make that 2 changes, actually. One is that Ed Romero will be at shortstop in place of Glenn Hoffman, who he pinch ran for. And secondly, Roger Clemens has a 3-1 lead, which he didn't go into the 7th with.
Boy, they changed that around in a hurry, as the bottom of the order really started it with 2 out. A single by Lyons and a walk to Hoffman. There the K's out in right field. All of a sudden, they appeared.
Guy must have been listening or watching something and got here.
Boy, they got strung up there in a hurry.
He wasn't here in the 5th when he got his 10th, because I looked again then, so.
Well, he's got 16 now, and he is within a shot of a major league record. He's 19. Strike 1 to the first batter, Calderon, who has fanned twice. Top of the 8th inning, Red Sox lead 3-1. Calderon has been called out twice on strikes.
Is that record held by a couple of people at 19?
I think Carlton has 19. Steve Carlton and somebody else.
I know Nolan Ryan's got 19 because I watched him do it.
Joe Stambito and Rob Stanley, they're the late inning guys, and they're up in the bullpen. 0-2. 0-3. 17. And Calderon was just completely lost out there. He was flailing away regardless of where it was. He's tied the Red Sox record for Monboquet, which he did in 1961. There is ball one to Tartabull. Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, and Steve Carlton all have 19. Back it goes for a foul. I think that 18 is the American League record held by Bob Feller.
No, I don't know. I can't be sure, but I think I saw Nolan Ryan strike out 19 of us.
Oh, that was when he was in the American League.
Yeah.
That's right, with California.
Yeah.
The other two were national. There's a drive to the gap in right center field, covered by Lyons in a hurry, and Tartabull is on with his first hit, and the third hit for the Mariners.
Well, the young man has proved all along coming into this series here that he's got a little punch. He finally catches up with a Clemens fastball, which a lot of Mariners have not been able to do tonight, although he didn't pull it. Gets it into right center toward the gap, cut off nicely by Lyons, and he'll keep the force play in order.
So here we go with one out in the 8th inning, and Dave Henderson is up. The pitch. Strike one. Henderson called out on strikes in the 3rd, went down swinging in the 6th. He was number 6 and number 13. 17 strikeouts for Roger Clemens, if you just joined us. We're in the 8th inning. Strike 2. Now he's ahead of Henderson, 0-2. Crowd up again. Foul ball out of play. He'll have another shot. And you start thinking about records now. He's within 2. Incidentally, Steve Carlton, show how his luck ran. He struck out 19 and lost the game. Al Cowens has come out on deck with Henderson up there, and Cowens, if he gets a chance, if there's no double play here, will bat for Yeager. A ball that sounded high, a fastball up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Knocked him down a little bit. 2-2. Roger pressing maybe a little on that pitch.
That's just looked like maybe an overthrow there, Ned. A little anxious to get it, maybe trying to throw a little bit harder. Wish you wouldn't do that.
Just stay within yourself, Roger. It's worked so far. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Strike 3. 18. Never has there been this excitement in the last couple of years here. And it's not a sellout crowd by any means, but they're making sellout noises. Red Sox record for strikeouts in a game. Al Cowens is going to bat for Steve Yeager. There's your mark on the scoreboard. Cowens usually gets the bat on the ball, but I would think this would be a terrible time to come up as a pinch hitter, wouldn't you?
Well, one thing, when a manager calls your name, you wouldn't run up there that bat rack to grab a bat. You'd go walking up there with a very soft gait.
All right, Al Cowan's up there. The runner at first base is Tartable. Ball one. There's a good breaking pitch for a strike. Roger has struck out 30 batters now in 2 consecutive games. And that's a major league record. Fly ball, center field straight away, and Lyons is there. So that ends the 8th inning. He still has a shot at it. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Red Sox leading 3-1.
Had the 8 strikeouts in a row. Of course, you looked around on the board. It was very well known that you'd broken the record then. Were you thinking about anything other than just a record that you had at hand? I mean, did you know what the record was?
No, I had no idea about a one-game strikeout record or anything of that nature. I realized that I was approaching my 15, and I was thinking about the 17 for here, but I had no idea about the overall record. And the 8th inning, I was up there listening to y'all, and Nip came out and said, hey, you know, you can set an all-time record. He said, you got to go for it. And I said, and then right then it kind of clicked in, and I went out there and did it.
Bill Buckner laced a rope to right for a single to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Jim Rice moved him up with a ground out short to first. And when Don Baylor fought off Moore's serves to work him for a walk, manager Chuck Cottier had seen enough. Moore left to a well-deserved ovation from the Fenway fans, and lefty Matt Young came on to face Rich Gedman. Young departed after getting Gedman on a shallow pop to Dave Henderson in center. And Carl Best came on to end the inning by catching Marty Barrett for his first K of the season as the Red Sox took their 3-1 lead into the 9th for a last dramatic confrontation between Roger Clemens and the top of the Seattle order.
The 9th inning with Roger Clemens, 1 strikeout away from tying a major league record. 2 strikeouts away from creating one. He has fanned 18 through the 8 innings, and in that time he has thrown 124 pitches, 84 for strikes. Changed defensively for the Red Sox in the 9th, Dave Stapleton playing first base. Stapleton replacing Baylor at first base. And it's still just a skinny lead for Roger, even though he's been so overpowering. There they are in right field. The K's are up. 18 of them. And this crowd pumped up and hanging around to see what happens in the 9th. The top of the order will be up against Clemens, Owen, Bradley, and Phelps. Spike Owen, a teammate of Rogers in college, and the only switch hitter the Mariners have, has struck out single to right and flied deep to center. Clemens has allowed 3 hits, a home run by Gorman Thomas, single to Owen, and a single to Tartable. So here we go. Strike 1.
I wonder if he knows he's that close to a record.
I don't know. He knows he has a Red Sox record. Little breaking ball for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Owen. Little foul ball down to third base. And now the count is 1-2. Owen really tried to duck away from that.
Somehow you got the feeling that these fans are glad that that was a foul. They all come to their feet again.
They're looking back, and they're glad that Baylor dropped that foul ball, too. Got a strikeout out of it.
Might make the difference.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Owen. Foul ball, and the count hangs at 1-2. Owen is not an easy man to strike out. He'll usually get the bat on the ball. 1-2. Tied the record. 19 for Roger Clemens. Major League record tied. He has 2 batters to go to try to set a new one. Here's Bradley. Ball 1. Here is the record tire.
Didn't lay off the highway.
1-0 pitch to Bradley. Ball 2. Bill Bradley has struck out 3 times. He was number 2, number 7, and number 15. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and he's still working like a machine out there. Strike 2. 2-2. And here they come up at Fenway.
I'm surprised they're going back down. I would think they would just stay up.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to stand up.
A new record. Clemens has set a major league record for strikeouts in a game. 20. Just let him yell. 20 strikeouts in a game, and here's Ken Phelps. Ball 1. That would be something if he could finish with a flare and strike out the side.
The way he started, why not?
He did that. Count is 2-0 to Phelps. Oh, mercy. The strike in there. 2 balls and 1 strike to Phelps, the left-handed batter. He has struck out 3 times. He has been number 3, number 8, and number 16. To shortstop, Romero. Game's over, and Roger Clemens has fanned 20 for a new record. What a performance by the kid from the University of Texas. The whole team is there. Keep it right here for a minute. 20 strikeouts, a new major league record in one single game. Final score, Red Sox 3, the Mariners 1. And Steve Lyons is patting his glove as if he did it. A tremendous hand for Roger Clemens. So the final score is Boston 3 and Seattle 1. We'll be back in a moment with our instant replay.
Oh, you sought your wife out last night in the stands. When she came down by the rail to greet you, did she say something to you or you to her?
She came down and